it's your boy, the Memphis XLR8, back at you with all of my COD games. The show, we take a look at whatever deck we want to look at, we take it in Yugioh Pro, show you how it works, show you how the combos and the things work, and we have ourselves a good old time. Today we're taking a look at Simorgh, the big old birds of a feather that like to swarm the board and just don't like spell traps. We don't like spell traps. Dark Simorgh don't like no spell traps. And we got ourselves the new Simorgh support, which is this one new bird, which is a nice new bird. And so we're going to go ahead into good old Yugioh Pro. I'm going to show you off my Simorgh deck, show you how this anti-spell, fragrance-centric deck kind of operates, and we'll have us a good time. So, real quick, the deck profile, but before that, big shout out to all of you at home for 460 subscribers on the YouTube. We are so close to our 500 sub goal. You know, a couple more months to go. We'll see how it goes, but thank you guys very much. Y'all beautiful. You're beautiful. I won't tell you you're breathtaking. That's at 500. So, a little bit of incentive for you. But for now, let's go over the deck list and we'll get into the duels. So, for our main deck, we have 3 copies of the Simorgh O Darkness, 2 copies of the Simorgh Lord of the Storm, 1 copy of the Dark Simorgh, 3 copies of Wind the Wind Channeler. We have 3 of the new Simorgh Bird of Extermination, 1 Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds for the odd, combo. We have ourselves 3 Simorgh of Calamity, 3 Simorgh of Bringing, and 3 Simorgh of Beginning. We have 3 copies of Simorgh Onslaught, 3 Trade-In, 1 Reasoning, 1 Terraforming, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Call by Grave, 2 Elbors, the Sacred Land of Simorgh. We have 3 Harpies Featherstorm, 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. For our extra deck, we have 1 Link Karibo, 1 Masquerena, 1 Wind the Wind Charmer Verdant, 2 copies of Harpy Conductor, a Nightmare Unicorn, 2 Simorgh, the King of Tweety Birds. We have this dude, whose name I still can't pronounce, the Desperate Doom Eagle, we'll just call him that. We have Axis Kotalker and Boral Sword Dragon and Mekk-Knight Crusader Avermax, if things go a little dicey. We have Lightning Chidori, Castel the Skyblaster, and a Baguska. Again, these are mostly side options, but they all have their uses. They have their uses. As for the side deck, if you want more level 8s for trade-in, I recommend Danger Thunderbird. Not only is he a dark winged beast with a nice attack point, but he can also destroy a spell trap when he's discarded, and since we don't want spell traps, there is some use for Danger Thunderbird. If you want to attack in a couple copies of that, you have Apex Avian, which you can summon off your King of Tweety Birds. He's just an Omni Negate that can keep getting brought back so long as you have said King of Tweets. We have things like Lyrilusk. I've heard good things about Simorgh Lyrilusk. It mostly just adds things like, a Several Nightingale to the mix and the other, Lyrilusk Exceed monsters. But it's worth thinking about. Isabel, if you want to put in some more level 8s, some rank 8 Exceeds are not a bad idea. We don't go into them very often, but, it's always nice to have that option. If you need another Bird of Sovereignty, you really don't need it, but if you feel like you need it, go ahead. If you do find yourself going second, like if you're in a locals or whatever, and you're playing, this deck and you go second, I highly recommend spell trap removal like Lightning Storm, because you don't want your opponent to have any spell traps. No disruption, no spell traps whatsoever. And lastly, there's Straight Flush, which is a very cheeky kind of trolling sort of tech card. In the 1 in a bunch chance that you get off the Simorgh combo, your opponent sets 5, you blow up their whole back row. It's funny when it works, doesn't happen very often. So that's why we're not doing that today. But regardless, let's go ahead and good old Yugioh Pro. Let's show this deck off in all of its glory, summon our birds, and have ourselves a good old time. Alrighty, our first opponent. You do want to go first with this deck, like, all the time. Simorgh is not a deck that likes to go second very much. Let's see here. Not a bad opening hand. Let me think about this. I don't have my draw power, which kind of sucks. But I have other things. Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's see. I get another normal summon, get a search, get another thing. Okay, here's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to summon out Simorgh, the Bird of Beginning. This card lets me get an additional normal summon. I also have Simorgh, the Bird of Extermination. You normal summon a Simorgh, you reveal this dude, and you get to summon him out to the field. You don't want to summon Bringing because it misses timing. We'll summon him with the other one. So, Bird of Extermination, our new man, when he's normal summoned, I can send a Simorgh monster from my deck to the grave. I usually send Darkness, just to have him in the grave. And then we get to get ourselves a spell trap. And we're going to go ahead and get Elbor's the Sacred Land. And considering the setup we've got here, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of Bringing. I already have searched out all the Simorgh spell traps and monsters I actually need. So we're going to ditch our Simorgh, and my game is lagging a bit. Which is not a good sign. Not a good sign when the game starts lagging. But hopefully it'll start up soon. So basically what Simorgh Onslaught does is you discard a Winged Beast, you get 2 Simorghs with different attributes. And you also reveal a Winged Beast to like reduce the level of one in your hand by 1. So it gives you like, alright, reveal Winged Beast, reduce levels of monsters in your hand with that name by 1 for yeah. It reduces your level, so it basically lets you do something like Simorgh for 1 less tribute. So let's go ahead, add Lord of the Storm. And we don't want to add Simorgh, we don't need to do that. Let's just add another bird, let's add another Dark Bird, actually. In case I draw into Trade-In. That'll work. So let's go ahead and use our Bird of Bringing. Hacha. All the little birds, except for Extermination, can summon themselves if your opponent has no back row. Is very nice. They do get banished afterwards, which is annoying. And unfortunately, that's going to stop me from doing, like, all the stuff I wanted to do. Let me think. Level 8, level 7. Yeah, I don't get to bring out the Simorgh of Darkness quite yet. Which is unfortunate, but true. But that's fine. We can do that later. We'll summon out Simorgh, the Bird of Sovereignty. And basically what this dude does is, my monster, as the things he points to, they can't be targeted by card effects. And during the end phase, I shall get more monster. Let's me think again. Yeah, because it's like, reduce the levels of monsters in hand with that name by 1, but I need it reduced by 2. So we'll go ahead and end our turn for now. You see, if I had one other bird in the grave, I could have summoned this dude. And since Dark is in the grave, I could have summoned him as well. When you tribute summon, one of your birds, you summon Lord of the Storm, you get out Bird of Darkness. It's nice. But we're going to go ahead and summon Barrier Statue of the Stormwind. If I had my anti-spell, I would go for Dark Simorgh, but I didn't draw into it. That's honestly my more preferred play, is getting out Dark Simorgh. Because if you have that and anti-spell Fragrance, anti-spell Fragrance is this old trap. Your opponent has to set spell traps before they can play them. And Dark Simorgh states that your opponent can't set anything. So basically, you have yourself a bit of a lockdown where your opponent can't play spell traps, or set any monsters for that matter. It's very nasty. So this guy's playing Virtual World, which is kind of iffy, for the fact that he does have spells. Not that he has spells. The fact that he has wind monsters is a little annoying, because, he can only special summon wind monsters while I have the Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, which are nice thing. But we'll see. I mean, he can just run over Barrier Statue, but even if he does, I've got Heartbeast Featherstorm. You have a winged beast, then you can negate all monster effects your opponent plays for a whole turn. And he didn't even attack my Barrier Statue. I wonder why he didn't. That's kind of weird. Alright, we're going to go ahead and summon another monster. We're going to get the Lord of the Storm, because he is really large. I could have gone for Dark Simorgh too, but don't need him right now. Another Elbor's. Don't really need that. Let me think about this. What's in my graveyard? Yeah, I can reduce levels. Still not good right now. Let me think about this, because if I tribute both of these, I'll get out Simorgh. And then I'll get another Simorgh, but then he'll be able to just... Well, actually, if I lock up his monster effects... Yeah, as much as I'd like to keep this, screw Barrier Statue. He's annoying. So that'll work. So now Simorgh of Darkness rises from the grave. Datascape, shoosh. What does this do? Target face-up card, shuffle 2 banished Virtual World cards. You don't have any banished Virtual World cards, so I don't worry about that. Hacha, my bird is large. And yeah, let's go for battle phase. we should be good. I mean, Virtual World that didn't get to do anything turn 1, not going to be able to do much. Virtual World, they used to be meta back in the days of Mr. True King Calamitous. But that guy's gone. He's been gone for a long time. And he ain't coming back. And I don't have level 8 or rank 8 Gaga Cowboy. Sadness. But that's fine. We'll go ahead and end our turn. And now we'll summon out the Dark Simorgh. Because one thing, he's big. 2 things, he won't have any spell traps he can set. So, yeah. Dark Simorgh. And that's, this is how this deck works. You go for the King of Tweety Birds. He's called the Bird of Sovereignty. Sovereigns. Kings. He's the King of Tweety Birds. These guys, they all tweet all the time. I don't tweet. I don't do Twitter. Twitter is just like, why? I ain't a bird. These guys are birds. They can tweet all they want. I don't tweet. I ain't no tweeter. Alright, so he's going to be doing that. I'm going to be like, no. No more. No more. Yeah, so this will negate all his monster effects for a turn, pretty much stopping him from doing whatever he wants. And so, we're pretty set. If he plays a spell trap, yeah, he's gonna keep doing that. It's not gonna work. But yeah, I have a negate here, and I have a bounce here. It's pretty nasty. Okay. I can't be targeted, though. Seeing as I can't be targeted, this is not relevant. So yeah, he's pretty much screwed here, unless he's got like sphere mode raw or something. That would probably mess me up, but other than that, he's pretty much screwed. He can't use any monster effects this turn. Banish a virtual world card, okay. I'm still not worried, by the way. I mean, your monster effects don't do anything. This doesn't work on me because I can't be targeted by anything. So it's like, he's trying really hard, but the fact is, I have the trap version of the monster this guy used to run, and he goes out on his own terms. So at least he's got that. So my opponent goes out on their own terms. Good on you, sir. Good on you. So you get an idea about how this deck works. You go for your Bird of Sovereignty. You just start swarming out birds. If you can, you go for Dark Simorgh and the anti-spell. If you can't, you go for the Barrier Statue. So that's how this deck works in a nutshell. Let's go for duel number 2. See if we can just keep doing what we're doing. So far, we're doing just fine. No complaints here. No complaints. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Don't get to pick. But our opponent will allow us to go first. And our opening hand is tolerable. I will call it tolerable. Let's go ahead for Reasoning. We play a lot of different levels in this deck, so I just threw in Reasoning as like a cheeky tech option. Ooh, unfortunately... Oh, that's fine, because now that this is in the grave, it still works. That's the nice bit. Ooh, and we top deck into Anti-Spell, which is always fun. So let's go ahead and summon out Simorgh, the Bird of Exterminatus. It will go ahead for that. I almost said Exterminatus. They ain't Warhammer. It could be Warhammer. So long as Game Workshop gives us back our fan animations, then I would be fine with that. Yeah, Calamitous Bird. And then we're going to get ourselves another card. Let's go ahead and get... let's see. Has to be in the Graveyard Darkness Simorgh. That's the thing. Oh, that's a hard one. Oh, that's a hard one. I'm going to get the Field Spell. I'd rather have a bit more attack to make my monsters a little bit bigger, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead, bring back our dudes. Bring back our boys from the graveyard. I really wish this guy could bring himself back as well, but for whatever reason, Konami decided to not do that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and activate the Field Spell. And we'll keep these dudes in our hand for later. Let's just go ahead and, do the dude we like to summon. These guys will get banished. Their sacrifice shall not be in vain. And we'll end our turn. And then during the end phase, barring Ash Blossom, we should, in theory, be pretty set. I could, of course, go for the Barrier Statue again, but I don't like to do that all the time, let me tell you. It's like a thing you can do, but I like this combo better. Because it's like, no spells, no traps. He can't target these, so he can't do any monsters that target stuff. and my opponent immediately surrenders. Sometimes that works too. Sometimes your opponent sees this and it's like, nope, I ain't touching that bird. It's got rabies. Do birds get rabies? I don't think they do. I think that's more of a mammal thing, but yeah. Regardless of that, there's the lockdown of Dark Simorgh, one of the oldest locks in the game. It's pretty nasty, let me tell you. So, there's another win. I'll go ahead and do a bonus duel today because that was really short. But yeah, let's go for duel number 3. Alright, the third opponent up against water itself. Reminded me that Mako Tsunami got new cards from his deck, upgraded. And that we still don't have any new volcanics. Alright, what do we have for an opening hand? Oh, it'll work. Yeah, this will be just fine. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Bird of Bringing. When this is normal summoned, I add any Simorgh card. This is my searcher. Let me think about this. Let's see, if I add this, I get a monster as well as getting another monster. And I get Simorgh of Darkness in the grave, but I don't get my field spell. So, I kind of want the field spell more, just again, to make my monsters just a little bit bigger. You know, it's nice to get the Simorgh of Darkness, but given time, we can do it just as well. So, we'll Foolish Burial, sending a bird, this one. I usually just go with this guy, because I'd rather keep Calamity, because he's a Foolish Burial in of himself. He's a good one-card combo there. So, let's go ahead and make Harpy Conductor. This is my Link 2 that I use when I can't make 3 monsters, because it really helps when I need to make my Tweety Bird King. There you go. So we should be pretty set, at least in theory. I mean, I've got my Bird of Sovereignty, I've got my Field Spell, and I've got this. I've also got Wind, if I need her later. I can add a Wind with 1500 less defense, which is pretty nice. It doesn't add Extermination, sadly, but it adds a lot of other things. So, we'll go ahead, Hashamba. Hashamba! I call him Hashamba because he has that funny little hat. If you've ever looked at the art of Dark Simorgh, he is wearing a funny little hat. I'm pretty sure that the other Simorgh that's not the dark version also has a funny hat. I'm also pretty sure that this Simorgh has a funny hat, but it's very hard to see. Hold on, I got a better artwork I can just pull up on my thing. I'm gonna look while my opponent is wondering at their life choices. 1 second. It's like sometimes you look at these artworks and funny little details show up. Where is... Ah, there it is. Oh yeah, he has a fancy crown. That's right. Okay, my opponent surrendered while I was looking at crowns. So yeah, again, this is not a combo that is, you know, something to scoff at. It's ancient, but it's devastating against the right decks. You know, your opponent, no spell traps, no setting anything. It can really hurt them. So, there's another win via Simorgh Lockdown. So, let's go ahead for a 4th duel. Might have to do a 5th duel at this rate. But yeah, let's go ahead for 4th duel, see if we can find someone who will at least attempt to break our board. Alrighty, 4th opponent. So far, so good. You know, the thing about this deck is, you get the right hand, things are good. If you don't, or if you go second, things get rough. But, you know, so far, not doing too bad. What do we have here? Slightly risky, but I'm gonna go for trading. I think we'll draw the right stuff. We drew right stuff. This will work just fine. I don't like the barrier statue in the hand, but thankfully, Simorgh Bird of Tweety Kings can just, you know, he can do, he has a card effect. My brain stopped working there for a second. He can summon the barrier statue from my hand. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Let's get Bird of Bringing. I have an idea. Let's go for Bird of Bringing. Gonna activate its special ability. And we're gonna search out a Bird of Calamity. So I can get things in the graveyard. Let's go ahead. Bird Onslaught. Ditch Calamity. And we'll search out our one bird. And we'll search out the other bird. That way we have these in our hand for later. And I'm also going to go ahead Foolish Burial, just because. And we'll send a Bird of the Gigging. Begigging. Did I just say begigging? What the heck does that even mean? That's not even a word. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead, reduce level. Yeah, that doesn't work. It's about to say. It reduces levels by 1, but that's not enough. So we're gonna go ahead and make our Tweety bird. Hacha. And, you know, we'll keep a bird in the graveyard for later if we need it. We'll end our turn. And unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna have to go for a barrier statue as much as I don't want to. You know, you play one of this in case things don't go quite your way. It's easy to make the Bird of Sovereignty. Not always easy to have Anti-Spell Fragrance and Harpy's Featherstorm at the same time. That's why you run the one barrier statue of the Stormwinds, because while it locks down all your darks, you still have all your wins. Alright, Kyoto Waterfront. That is Kaijus. That's not necessarily good, because Kaijus mess us up, and that's not a good sign. Alrighty. I really wish I had my Apex Avian right now, but we don't. Let me think about... Well, I can't summon my darks, obviously, so... Let me think about this. Calamity Bird? Let's see. Spell Trap. Yeah. Problem with Darkness, Simorgh. Has to be in the graveyard. Yeah, I'm just gonna summon the big dude. Because he's big. I think that's good enough reason. Alright, Bird of Extermination. Send a Simorgh from deck to the grave. Add a Simorgh Spell Trap. Not bad at all. So we'll summon out the Bird of Extermination. I have a feeling this is a Gradle. I have a feeling that's a Gradle. And the reason I can tell this is because I've played this game at least once or twice. So I have a very strong suspicion that this is a Gradle. Alright. So, let's go ahead and activate Elderboars. And nope. And yeah, I could have shuffled this field spell into the deck. Oh wait, that works. We'll use Simorgh Onslaught. Chain Lord of the Storm. Get rid of this dude, because I don't need him right now. Spin back to the deck. Make sure he can't do this Kaiju. So we'll go ahead and reveal Simorgh. Reduce levels. That's not important right now. What's important is I'm going to go ahead and bring back a bird. And then use Elbor's effect for an additional summon. Hasha. And then I've got the effect of the Darkness Simorgh in my graveyard. Bring him right back. And I think we've got game here. I think. Pachycephalo. Ow. I thought this was correct. I thought it was a Gradle. I wish it was a Gradle. Ouch. Destroy all special summon monsters. I mean, the one good thing is I got rid of the waterfront. And that's probably going to be... If anything's going to save me, it's that. If that doesn't work, I'm kind of screwed. Tribute a winged beast. Oh yeah, he does count as a wind himself, so I could negate that, but I don't think that's a smart idea. I'd rather negate something else. We'll find out. Okay, so we did have a Kaiju. I should have negated and stopped him from Kaijuing. Alrighty. And a turtle. That's like the worst thing it could have possibly been, because now he has the ability to Omni-negate me. So this is one of those Kaiju Omni-negate decks, where he tries to give himself the Gamma-Sile. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Unfortunate indeed. We started okay, but the fact is, that Pachycephalo kind of messed me up. Just field nuke. A monster field nuke. Something you normally don't have to worry about too much, but it's something that just nuked our day. So, unfortunately, I'd say, yeah, I've lost this duel. There's no way I can get around this. There's no way to get around this for me. So, I'm going to go ahead into one bonus duel. I think I've got time for that. And then we will go into the end screen. Alrighty, 5th and final duel of the day. Last chance for romance. The deck's done just fine, so whatever happens, I'm happy with it. Alrighty, what do we have for an opening hand? Tricky. Tricky indeed. I do have my field spell already. I have my searcher. I've got my other searcher that I don't really need right now. So let's go ahead, get rid of this dude, because I really don't need him right now. I'm going to get the bird that begins things, and I'm going to get... Actually, I'm just going to get another one. Yeah, this will work. So let's go ahead. We'll summon out the bird of beginning. Use his effect for that additional summon. And Shane, Mr. Extermination. Making sure, of course, to summon Mr. Extermination. Otherwise, he missed timing. And let's go ahead. Yeah. Send a Dark Boy to the graveyard for later. And we'll search a spell card, even though I don't need one. I'll just get an Onslaught for later. Actually, this will work just fine. So we'll normal summon ourselves the Bird of Bringing. Let's go ahead and get ourselves Lord of the Storm. Barring the fact that I don't have anti-spell, this ought to be pretty damn near perfect. Actually, no it isn't. What am I... Okay, yeah. I can bring those two back. Okay. So, make Simorgh. Hacha. Activate Elabors. And then we'll bring back those two birds. Bring back some burbs. See? It's a nice, neat package, Simorghs. It's very nice. When it works out the way it's meant to, it's a beautiful sight to behold. So we'll go ahead, tribute those two off, bring out Simorgh, bring out other Simorgh, and we should be pretty set, unless there's more kaijus involved. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's just make sure that he can't pack a Cephalo me again. Dark Simorgh. I probably could have made Bear Statue too, but I already have Featherstorm, so, you know, I don't really want to do that right this time. So we'll see what our opponent can do. I've got a bunch of really big birds. It's kind of like playing Black Wings, but slightly different. Ever so slightly different. And we'll see. Yeah, he can't set anything. No defensive monsters. Star Pendulograph. Cannot target spellcasters with spell or... Okay, I don't really care about that. Alright, well, I do have a spell, trap, negate. And I can shuffle a card into the deck. Okay. Bring in Pendulum Wizards. That could be issue, depending on exactly what he does. Trying to remember exactly what Pendulum Wizards do. I think he needs his extra deck to do stuff. So yeah, he's going to summon some monsters. I'm going to be like, no. No monster effects, thank you. No monster effects for you, young man. Not this turn. Alright, so how many zones will be filled? 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay. I mean, I've already got all my big dudes anyway, but, you know, I like to know how many zones are open anyway. I like to know. It's a good thing to know. Alright, Masquerena. Add a Magician Pendulum monster from deck to hand. Kind of want to interrupt something here. Yeah. We'll ditch Dark Simorgh, because I don't think he's actually going to be helpful here. I'm going to get rid of... Let's see, he already Pendulum summoned, but he had normal summon. I'm going to get rid of Masquerena. I don't trust Masquerena in this situation. I don't trust her. What can I say? I don't want him to be, you know, making Unicorn... Well, obviously Unicorn won't do anything, but I don't want him to have the option of going for Avermax. Because if he makes an indestructible Avermax, I have no out to that. So yeah, I think getting rid of the Masquerena is a better move. I could have also hit the Pendulograph, but I think this will work too. Hopefully. Maybe. Harmonize with me. This card's Pendulum Summon from the hand, summon a Magician, Pendulum from the deck in defense mode, except for itself. Okay. Well, I still have a negate, so I'm pretty sure I've still got game and stuff. I'll summon the barrier statue just in case I need it. I don't think I will, but you never know. Okay, so I've got a heck of a lot. Let's see, 3, 6. Yeah, that's game. Unless this is a battle trap that won't help him anyway, I've got game. So that's going to be a win against the, what is this called again? This is called Pendulum Wizards? That's the one. Alright, so that's a win against Pendulum Wizards. He tried so hard, and he got so far, but in the end, I had a bird. And my bird is the word. Alrighty, so there's the duels. Trying to pop my field spell so he lives. Okay, whatever. I don't really care. I don't care. Stop doing things. Fine. Act your stuff. I was trying to go out on a funny little pun there. Not even a pun, but shut up. I'm doing stuff. Okay, take your damage. End screen time. Alrighty, everybody. Simorgh 2021. We went 4-1. Better than I was expecting. I was thinking like 3, like if I got 2-2 or something like that, would have been a bit closer, because Simorgh is one of those decks where if you get to go first and you open with the right stuff, you're gonna do just fine. It's not hard. It's not a deck you brick with all too often. It's pretty consistent. But there's a lot of ways to get around it, especially in today's game. So I was thinking 2-2, but we went 4-1, so worked out just fine. So it's one of those decks you really can't sleep on. This is not a combo that you can really just turn your nose up at. It works. So it worked out pretty good today. I did enjoy playing Simorghs again, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play the Simorghs. If you did, consider hitting that like button, letting me know that you enjoyed this. Leave a little comment telling me what you think of Simorghs. Consider subbing if you'd like. We are trying to hit that 500 by the end of the year. No pressure, though. It's all up to you. So, thank y'all for watching today's deck. Next time, I gotta really look at this list. I think I really need to look at Holy Knights and a couple other decks that I was asked to really take a look at. So that'll be what's coming up later. But for now, your boy Memphis is signing out. Take care. See you later. You have a good one.